Ian Robertson, The Stress Test, How Pressure Can Make You Stronger and Sharper. Unlock the secrets behind managing stress in your life with Ian Robertson's insightful book, The Stress Test, How Pressure Can Make You Stronger and Sharper. Embark on an intellectual journey through the mind and brain interaction, exploring our responses to stress and why some people thrive under pressure while others crumble. This summary will walk you through essential concepts like the Yerkes-Dodson law of arousal, the effects of power on the brain's chemical composition, and the intriguing interplay between context, emotions, and cognition. By understanding and mastering the connections between your mind and brain, you will be able to attune them to face life's hurdles with optimism and resilience.
Mind and Brain in Harmony. Psychologist and neuroscientist Ian Robertson's book, Twilight of the Idols, emphasizes on the relationship between the mind and the brain. He explains that people have the power to overcome their fate and not let life's problems crush them. Robertson's approach is unique as he merges the fields of clinical psychology and brain research. He seeks to understand how the software of the mind interacts with the hardware of the brain. He believes it is not enough to treat emotional issues alone, but also to study the neuroscience behind it. Robertson touches on how people can strengthen their minds and brains to adapt to life's difficulties and challenges. He emphasizes that people should not be passive beings who are helpless but instead should be capable of managing their destiny. Robertson's book provides insights into how people can handle problems in life in a better way and ultimately live a more fulfilled life. The malleability of the mind. The idea that the brain is rigid has been debunked by scientific research. The brain is dynamic, and its structure can change with experience. Genes are not fixed, but rather, their expression can be influenced by environmental factors and experiences. Psychiatrists must reevaluate the role of genes in mental health. Stress and emotions impact mental health, and people react to them differently, with some gaining strength from adversity while others struggle. Through the manipulation of both hardware and software, people can tune their mind-brains to increase performance and coping abilities. How your brain controls alertness while driving. Engineers put bends in long roads to prevent accidents caused by drowsiness. The brain has two small centers, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, and the locus coeruleus, working in opposition to regulate sleep and wakefulness. The SCN controls the level of activity in the cortex to promote sleep at night and increase activity when waking up. Meanwhile, the locus coeruleus helps the brain stay alert upon encountering an interesting event by increasing norepinephrine output. Engineers create bends in roads to keep drivers alert by stimulating the locus coeruleus to counteract the SCN. The basal ganglia and cerebellum take over familiar tasks from the higher cortical regions, freeing up these regions to focus on alertness. By understanding how these brain centers work, we can take control of our emotions and label them in our minds to achieve better sleep and greater overall control of our lives. How stress can make you stronger. The Yerkes-Dodson law of arousal states that as people become more alert, their attention and performance improve, to a point. Beyond that point, stress can cause performance to worsen. However, research shows that stress can make you stronger if you don't let yourself feel anxious about your abilities. In a study, anxious students performed worse because they felt more stress, whereas less anxious students produced more cortisol and did better. Thoughts and emotions can physically reshape the brain, and these changes can mold our thoughts and emotions. Overcoming anxiety. Robertson's patient, Simon, suffered from anxiety after an embarrassing public speaking incident. During treatment, Simon realized that his anxiety caused him to be hypervigilant about potential threats, even if they weren't meaningful. Robertson suggests that practicing self-reappraisal can help individuals become better at identifying and controlling their anxiety. In a study conducted in North Carolina, researchers found that those who experienced more worrisome thoughts also had more wandering minds. Overcoming anxiety requires individuals to recognize and challenge their negative thought patterns. Power and perseverance. Life is full of challenges, but those who learn to stop routines at the right time, persevere, and accept adversity can use it as a source of strength. In The Winner Effect, Robertson explains that recalling times of control over others can boost confidence and intelligence, while memories of being controlled can make one feel weaker and less capable. Power can increase testosterone levels and dopamine production, altering the brain's chemistry and psychological temperament. The key is to keep going despite not knowing the direction to take, as Nobel laureate Samuel Beckett famously wrote, "You must go on, I can't go on, I'll go on." The influence of context on our emotional state. A study by Stanley Schachter and Jerome Singer injected volunteers with adrenaline and gave them false information about their potential symptoms. They also placed volunteers with actors who behaved in a certain mood. The results showed that context greatly affects our moods, as those with the happy actor felt energized, while those with the discontent actor felt unhappy. Understanding and decoding our feelings in different situations affects the amount of stress we experience. This study highlights the importance of context in our emotional state and its impact on creativity. Education and social connections mitigate the impact of Alzheimer's. Worldwide, people are living longer, which means more individuals are experiencing dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. However, those who receive more education than the norm have less of a chance of getting the disease. Alzheimer's patients cannot recall recent events, but have good long-term memory. According to experts, education creates a cognitive reserve that ultimately affects the brain's cortex. In a study of Chicago residents, researchers found those who possessed strong social connections, or those who were in the top 10% of social network size, displayed no correlation between memory loss and the amounts of tau protein in their brains, indicating that a person's number of friends and relatives has a significant impact on the progression of Alzheimer's and dementia. Overall, this article highlights how education and social support can work together to mitigate the impact of Alzheimer's. Taking control of your life. Nietzsche believed that individuals could empower themselves by drawing on their will to make changes. However, this approach is only effective if people believe they have the power to do so. The perception of how much power one has over challenges determines their reaction to stress. Those who believe they have control are more likely to view stress as a challenge rather than a threat. Psychologist Carol Dweck suggests that people develop two beliefs about their intelligence as they mature: fixed or malleable. Those with a fixed view believe that their intelligence is limited and cannot be improved, while those with a malleable view believe in the potential for growth and development. Nietzsche saw individuals as agents that could learn to harness their own power rather than being subjected to external forces. By acknowledging the flexibility of the brain and mind, individuals can take control of their emotions, cope with life's problems, and improve their overall well-being.
As Ian Robertson says in The Stress Test, how pressure can make you stronger and sharper. The ability to manage stress effectively lies in the interplay between your brain's hardware and your mind's software. Embracing a malleable view of intelligence paves the way to adaptability and enables you to face challenges as opportunities, rather than threats. Harness the power of your mind to interpret emotions through context and gain control over your reactions. As you apply these crucial insights, you will be able to enhance your performance and thrive, even in adversity. Equipped with the knowledge of how your mind and brain work together, you will be unstoppable on your path toward mental strength and clarity.